Hey Barons, did you know Baron Banner has launched its very own podcast? Today, we're going behind the scenes to meet the producer of the Baron Banner podcast and discover what this exciting platform is all about.
My name is Caitlin Liu, and I'm a senior at Fountain Valley High School. I was inspired to start this podcast because this is my third year in Baron Banner now, and podcasting was always something that really appealed to me. Over the summer, I found this podcast that I really liked, the Huberman Lab. I listen to it all the time, and I was just thinking like, hey, it would be so cool if I had a podcast of my own. I think my favorite part of the podcast is just being able to feature other people. Podcasting is such a different way of being able to give people a voice. Their true voice is being recorded, and it's not just like they're not just being quoted on an article or a paper. So right now I have 2 episodes out. I'm working on a third one. I am doing a series on mindfulness tips and mental health tips. In those episodes, I've talked with Mrs. Olaya and Mrs. Barrow, and I've been able to share some of my own experience and give out some of my own advice and just also ask them questions from a perspective of a student. My other podcast, I did an episode where I talked to the Baron Banner co-editor-in-chief, Wee Pham, and we just talked about the article that he wrote about the homecoming venue change, because that was a really big, important news story to our student body, and I felt that having Wee on a podcast and being able to let him share how his process of writing the article went just might give our student body more insight into how Baron Banner covers these issues. So students can find our podcast on Spotify and SoundCloud, where we are the Baron Banner Podcast, and on the Baron News website, baronnews.com. My podcast has a little spotlight feature on it.